Fallout. This editorial critiques Trump's disruptive actions that signal an era in transition. Those gasps, splutters, and screams you're hearing are the sounds of the old dying and the new being born right in front of our eyes, thanks to the ungentle midwifery of His Orange Eminence Donald Trump, the acquisitive emperor of sub-Canadian America. Gasps, splutters, and screams depict the raw reaction to dramatic change. Old dying and new being born is a metaphor for the end of one era and the start of another. Ungentle midwifery is a metaphor meaning rough, unkind assistance in birthing change. His Orange Eminence humorously labels Trump, referencing his distinct style and appearance. Acquisitive Emperor of Sub-Canadian America is an ironic epithet implying Trump's aggressive, profit-driven rule in a region bordering Canada. This sentence means that Trump's disruptive actions are heralding a radical shift, marked by both chaos and renewal. The labor pains are intense, and the contractions are increasing in frequency, but be assured that this particular delivery was long overdue, and that Trump is simply one of those figures that history tends to throw up when one era nears its end. Figures that will hasten the process and shape the contours of the new world, whether they know it or not. Labor pains and contractions are metaphors for the painful process of transformation. This particular delivery was long overdue means that this change was inevitable. Figures that history tends to throw up suggest that such transformative leaders appear when old systems collapse. This sentence means that despite the pain, this change is necessary, and Trump is a catalyst for a new era. By effectively taking a red, white, and blue sledgehammer to the post, World War II European order that the U.S. had itself crafted to the advantage of itself and its continental allies, Trump has set in motion forces that could lead to some very interesting results in the months, years, and decades to come. Red, white, and blue sledgehammer is a metaphor combining U.S. national colors with a tool of destruction. Post-World War II, European order refers to the established international system created after World War II. This sentence means that by forcefully disrupting the established order, Trump has unleashed transformative forces that will shape the future. And while predicting the future is a tricky and potentially embarrassing business at the best of times, there are some first and second order effects that bear discussion. First and second order effects means immediate and subsequent consequences. This sentence means that although forecasting is difficult, some clear impacts of Trump's actions warrant examination. For one thing, it seems the old Gaullist dream of a strategically autonomous Europe free of American dominance with France in the driver's seat has come a step closer to reality. Gaullist dream refers to the vision of French leader Charles de Gaulle for an independent Europe. Strategically autonomous Europe means a Europe free from U.S. control. This sentence means that Trump's actions may be accelerating Europe's move toward independence from American influence. Emmanuel Macron, sensing this, is trying to step up to play that role. Step up is a phrasal verb meaning to take on a responsibility. This sentence means that French President Macron is positioning himself to lead Europe in this new context. France's insistence, even within the Western alliance, on developing its own nuclear deterrent and maintaining its own wide-ranging global intelligence apparatus with very little reliance on U.S. intelligence gathering, has proved far-sighted. Nuclear deterrent means a strategy to prevent attack through the threat of nuclear retaliation. Far-sighted means visionary. This sentence means that France's independent defense and intelligence efforts are visionary in the current geopolitical climate. Turkey is also seeing an opportunity, with Recep Tayyip Erdogan, ever the master of the moment, offering Turkey as an indispensable partner in any future Europe-led security dispensation. Master of the moment is an idiom meaning a leader adept at seizing opportunities. Indispensable partner means a necessary ally. Security dispensation refers to a system of shared security responsibilities. This sentence means that Erdogan is positioning Turkey as a crucial security ally in a potentially reformed European order. It makes sense, given that Europe certainly needs Ankara's growing military and geopolitical clout, and may now not treat its membership requests with the arrogance of the past. This sentence means that Europe might now value Turkey's power more than before, reducing previous dismissive attitudes. Or not, Because Europe's imperial delusions and colonial biases persist, at least so long as they're still sipping on the heady brew of solidarity and nationalism that Trump has inadvertently forced them to imbibe. Imperial delusions and colonial biases mean outdated beliefs of superiority and exploitation. Sipping on the heady brew is a metaphor meaning continuing to indulge in intoxicating ideas. This sentence means that despite potential changes, Europe's old prejudices still linger under the influence of renewed nationalism sparked by Trump. Trump is among those thrown up by history when an era is ending. This sentence means that Trump is a figure who emerges during times of significant historical transition. But the hangover will come. As Europe shifts from a welfare state to a warfare state, citizens will feel the pinch. Hangover is a metaphor for the negative after effects. Welfare state to a warfare state implies a shift from social support to militarization. Feel the pinch means experience financial or emotional hardship. This sentence means that Europe's transition toward militarization will eventually impose economic and social costs on its citizens. This is a Europe in which many countries, especially Germany, are already feeling the shock of the cutoff of Russian gas, leading to higher energy prices for which there was a political price to pay. This sentence means that European nations, notably Germany, are suffering from energy crises caused by reduced Russian gas supplies, which have already impacted their economies. That price will become steeper, given that the money for massive rearmament will certainly come from already stretched social services. In the short and mid-term, this likely translates to an increasingly irate citizenry, which, even if it agrees with the principle of a militarily powerful Europe standing up to Russia or whomever, may be loath to foot the bill in perpetuity. Foot the bill is an idiom meaning to pay the cost. This sentence means that increased defense spending will strain social services, likely causing public discontent, even if the idea of a strong Europe is supported. This means a potential political windfall for the broader European opposition, which happens by and large to be far-right, or to put it less politely, neo-Nazis, crypto-Nazis, and out-and-out unapologetic Nazis, with a sprinkling of less popular far-left groups. Political windfall means a beneficial political gain. By and large means generally. This sentence means that the resulting public discontent may boost extremist opposition groups, particularly those on the far right, with some far-left influence as well. This leads to an interesting scenario in which at some point in the future, these extremist parties are in power in European countries that now possess burgeoning militaries, and perhaps also are nuclear armed. This sentence means that extremist political groups could eventually take control in Europe, which might then have strong military capabilities, including nuclear arms. And while we should all push for European de-radicalization, I can smell some lucrative consultancy gigs there. We should also know that another effect of Trump's actions will be a larger global push towards nuclear weapons. This sentence means that while efforts to reduce extremism are necessary and might even be profitable, the impact of Trump's policies could also trigger increased global nuclear armament. Poland's premier has already indicated his desire to obtain a nuclear deterrent. This sentence means that Poland is considering acquiring nuclear weapons for defense. It makes sense given that it is evident that treaties and guarantees and sovereign borders are meaningless in the face of the logic of power. Sovereign borders means national boundaries recognized by law. This sentence means that in a power-driven world, international treaties and border guarantees lose their significance. The only territory you have a right to in this new world is what you can physically hold on to. This sentence means that in the current geopolitical climate, only the land you can actively control matters. Speaking of weapons, Trump's actions aren't good news for the U.S. defense industry. This sentence means that Trump's policies negatively impact the American defense sector. Why would anyone buy U.S. weapons when they can be switched off if the president doesn't like the cut of your clothes? Is a common refrain these days. And it's cute to see Europeans finally realizing that U.S. assistance doesn't come with just strings attached, but steel cables. Switched off is a metaphor meaning disabled or rendered useless. Cut of your clothes is an idiom, meaning your appearance or style. strings attached, but steel cables contrast light conditions with heavy, inflexible ones. This sentence means that critics question the reliability of U.S. arms, suggesting that they can be arbitrarily deactivated by the president, revealing the rigid conditions behind U.S. support. So it's ironic that Ukraine, which should have served as a giant ongoing ad campaign for American weapon systems, is in fact a giant warning sign to all countries to never ever rely on American arms or American aims. This sentence means that Ukraine's situation now serves as a cautionary example, undermining the credibility of U.S. military support. One theory is that Trump is trying to peel Russia away from its Chinese alliance, and while anything is possible, it seems unlikely that Russia, fully mindful of the mercurial nature of U.S. policies, will take the bait. Peel away is a phrasal verb meaning separate or detach. Mercurial means changeable or unpredictable. This sentence means that one idea is that Trump aims to isolate Russia from China, but Russia is unlikely to fall for this due to its awareness of U.S. unpredictability. As for China, one would do well to remember that while Trump may have written The Art of the Deal, it was China that wrote The Art of War. Art of the Deal is a book by Trump about negotiation and business. Art of War is an ancient military treatise attributed to Sun Tzu. Quote, this sentence means that despite Trump's deal-making, China's strategies in conflict and power are far more sophisticated. The writer is a journalist. This sentence means that the author, with journalistic experience, offers these critical observations. X at Zarrar Khuhro, this is the writer's Twitter handle. Published in Dawn, March 10, 2025.